All right. Testing, testing. What we got? Evan. How are you, mate? Nice to meet you. Okay. Let's get into some drafting. For Carlton, please run. 9 is traded to Adelaide. Pick 16 and a future first. Then after Harry Dean bid at Richmond's second pick. All right. So, Carlton, please run. 9 is traded to Adelaide for their future first. Is it future first and 16 back or just a future first? Because I'm not sure if you guys can match the bid at that point. I'll have a look for you. We then trade back to the first round using Adelaide's future first to get a late teen pick. Are we a chance to get Dean, Ison, and squeeze in Doveston in there as a third player? Let's have a look. Have I got what you're after here correctly? You don't want this 16th? I'm going to try it, see how you look. I think, Carlton, you're dropping too many points there, I think. We can redo it if I'm getting it wrong for you. All right. Carlton, please run. Adelaide, pick 16. I got to read properly. Sorry. Let's redo it. Pick 9 and 16 and a future first. There we go. Then after Harry Dean at Richmond's second pick. Okay, so we're going Dersma. We think they're going to go Hewland, try their luck. Gold Coast are going to match. We're going to go Eagles are just going to go CDT with their second pick. Okay, and then trade back and we're chance to get Dean Ison, and then after Harry Dean at Richmond's second pick. Okay, so I think Patterson is a big chance to get picked up by Richmond. Thanks, Whitman. Yeah, he's going well, man. He's growing, surely, but he's going slowly, but he's going all right. We're not too concerned at the minute. It's good. Very happy. He's a wicked little kid. So, yeah, can't wait to bring him home. I think we're going to be looking at next week or so. All right, Dylan Patterson, and then we're looking at Richmond's second pick for Harry Dean. So let's go Sullivan Roby. Richmond want Roby, and then we're going to go Harry Dean for the second. You're giving up 13 and 17. You've still got enough, and you've got 466. Your compo is going to go on about pick 30, which will land at about pick 29, 28, 29. There we go. What do we want now? So we then trade back into the first round using Adelaide's future first to get a late teen pick. Okay, so your late teen picks are Brizzy, Geelong, and Freo. So maybe Gold Coast. You want to use Adelaide's future first. Who would be your best bet? Late teens, probably. Have we bid on Annabelle yet? We haven't. Maybe Brizzy. Can you bundle that future first? 7? No, that's not going to work. You want to trade your future first to get a late teen pick. Are we a chance to get Dean, Ison, and squeeze in Doveston or Lindsay in there as a third player? No, I don't think, not with that scenario, because you've already gotten rid of, what was it? It was 13 and 17. You've already got rid of them. So you're going to have to look at bringing in Lindsay or Doveston. You can get one of, probably. Maybe the Giants would do it. Wrong team. There we go. Adelaide's future first. They give you pick 14. You are going to need to give up a little bit more. I'm thinking 29 and 39 is still not going to be enough, is it? They're moving back 15 spots. How many players are they going to take? They're taking 32, so that's of no worth to them at all. They're going to only take 2 players in this draft, and You need them to be before 32. You're giving them a future first. You're giving them Adelaide's future first. I don't know how this is going to be manageable, mate. Evan, if you could give us some more direction you want this one to go. I don't know, how would you do it? Who else would you look at? GWS. West Coast are going to take another high player, you would think. Maybe the Doggies. Pick 16. Adelaide's future first. 30 and 48. So bundle up 29. 29 and a future first for 16. Kind of. Maybe go 39. So you're not losing that many points. You're actually picking up a lot more, aren't you? Execute trade. Let's give that a look. I can see the Doggies taking that. A future first and pick, what did I say, 48? That doesn't feel right. It's 39, 16, and a future first. Execute that. App's looking good. Suggestion, a filter in the results bar so you can filter by club. Like it. I like that suggestion. Let's do it. Filter in the results. I was thinking of populating the players under the club picks, so you just got your haul down here as well. That was another option I'm looking at. Is Evan still here? I'm just trying to get this scenario where they get Doveston as well. Let's go Annabelle. Let's go. Who does he want to land? He wants to land Doveston or Lindsay. All right, so Richmond are going to go Sullivan, Roby, and Xavier Taylor. Essendon will take Sharp and Cumming. Melbourne, I keep linking Schubert to Melbourne, and let's go with Ollie Greaves, this one. This is the pick that Adelaide traded up to for Carlton. Let's give him Mitch Marsh. Hawthorn are going to take Sam Grill. Trying to think of Evans' scenario. I think you're biting off a bit more than you can get, I reckon. Absolutely. To get a late teen pick. Are we chance to get Dean Ison and squeeze in Doveston? Probably not. Let's say your bid comes in for Ison at, I don't know, 18. You might have enough. Where's Carlton's picks? Yeah, you could have enough. Let's have a look. Farrow's going to GWS. Eagles are going to go Oscar Taylor. Carlton are going to take it Lindsay. So you've got your Lindsay and you've got Dean, Evan. Let's look at Geelong taking Philippou. I keep going back to Pickett for Freo, thinking that they're going to try and recruit the other Pickett in a year or two. This is where a bid for Ison comes in, I think. Essendon will take it to Carlton. So you need an additional 90 points, Evan. What can you get for additional 90 points? 49. And a fourth rounder. What's 90 points? 180. You want 180 points. Who's got 180 points? Brizzy or Freo. Where's Freo's? Is that a usable pick for Freo? 42. So you give them 49. They move back one. They're probably not going to use it. That's the problem. I would try and get Brisbane's compo pick, that 43 there. You've got enough points there. You just need to make it worth their while. You'd give them the 4th rounder, and hopefully they can trade that up for another academy player next year. That's the only way I can really see it. How about North? 41. Is that a usable pick for North? That'll be North's last pick. North will take a draft pick for sure. So you've got your 90. That's if the bid comes in for Ison at pick 20. You've got your 90 points. And then if you throw in a 4th, they're only moving back 8 spots. I think that could be doable. And their tail end spots, they're not like a valuable spot up the front. Maybe. Be wishful thinking. Where was it? Ison bid. I think we got enough now. So, Evan, that's a way you can get your Dean, pick 6. Josh Lindsay at 17. You'd need a fair bit to go right for all these to happen, mind you. And Ison, let's say pick 20. That bid could come in later as well. You might not need as many points. But yeah, if you got those 3, you'd walk away pretty happy, I think. All right. Let's get some more suggestions in. Who are we looking at? You thinking Ison around the 25 to 30? All right, let's push him back. So Ison bid hasn't come in. Let's undo that trade. Carlton still got their hand. Carlton might just be able to draft him outright if he falls to 28. So that's an option they have up their sleeve. But they'll need to think on the fly if it does come in earlier. So Essendon, who did Essendon want? Essendon around this pick 20 can probably start looking at Suede, midfielder. Who else has slipped this far? Doveston. Do they need small forwards? They probably do. Oh, they picked up Kako last year, didn't they? Hibbins Hargrave mid. I'm trying to think who Essendon have got to pair with Caddy. They've got 2 metre Peter. They could do with another long-term target if you maybe pair Ledoik with Caddy. Be an option. Hibbins Hargrave and Sam Grill, Hawthorn would be very happy with that. Let's go Max King for North. Sydney going to match that. Then they can take Harley Barker, another midfielder. They probably need, what do they need more than anything? A defence would help. Blake Threadgold. Comparison to Harris Andrews, you'd take that, wouldn't you? Intercepting defender who reads play early, marks cleanly, and directs backline shape. They could do with some backline shape, that's for sure. And then let's look at a bid for Ison at pick 25. Yeah, North would be stoked. Doveston slipping quite away here. I think Essendon, they get their swayed there, and then maybe Lockie Carmichael gets bid on. Sydney's still got enough to match it. That's fallen enough for them. Gold Coast, they can't match a Bo Adensel pick, so he's likened to Zach Butters and Touk Miller. A mix of those two, that's not too bad. Let's just give them a do not match. They're going to go to Essendon. And then we look at Ison. You could probably get Ison if he falls to 28. There you go. Well, that was your pick anyway. So, yeah. Could you do if Eagles take Dersma and Sharp and if Bombers get 15 off the Suns? I can do, mate. Let's have a look at it. All right. So let's go Dersma and Sharp. Straight off the bat. I want Sharp as well. I'm an Eagles fan, and I would like him to take Sharp. I don't think we need CDT or Roby. Hey, Angus. How are you, mate? Throw in what you want to see on the chat, mate, and I'll try and make it happen for you. So we're looking at Solarit's scenario here. Dersma and Sharp, and if Bombers get 15 from the Suns, so pick 15. How are they going to get pick 15? You're looking at 21 or 27. I've seen that a fair bit. Gold Coast get their points. Essendon move up the board. That's a win-win for everyone. 21 and 27, swap hands. Essendon got pick 15. And then they trade 5 and 15 for 3. Okay, so Richmond are trading back. Gold Coast are laughing here at the moment, by the way. I assume you meant you wanted Ewland bid on at pick 2. I can backtrack that a bit. Hey, Shannon, how are you, mate? Welcome. Oh, I can explore that for you in a sec, Angus. Not a problem, man. Just going back to Richmond, getting pick 3 for Essendon 5 and 15. So Richmond are picking up. As far as point index goes, Richmond are in front. They're moving back 2 spots. And they're getting a pick in the teens. Let's look at how many picks Richmond would like to have. Okay, so they're going to end up with 4 and 5, which is fine. They give up 2 players. And that bumps 38, 23 points forward. So they'll take that in a heartbeat. I think Richmond could probably throw something back because that 38 is no longer of use to them. So that makes it even a bit more even. That makes it a little bit more realistic as well. 3 and 38 for 5 and 15. They're not going to use it, and Essendon will probably use it for a swayed bid or something like that. All right, so let's look at that. Let's run that draft out. I'm going to backtrack Sharp. I'm going to go Ewland. A little bit more realistic here, and then Sharp. Yeah, Richmond throwback 38. Yep, throwing that. I think that makes it a lot more realistic, and it doesn't hurt Richmond's hand either. Did I execute that trade? Yeah, I did. Okay. Hang on. Let me reboot that. I'm sorry. Something didn't update then, I think. Match bid. Okay, and then we're going to the trade. We're going Essendon are getting pick 15 from Gold Coast. Don't know what's going on. It just didn't update. Maybe I didn't press reset draft. 15, 21, 27. Boom. Done. Richmond now go to 3, 4, 5, and 15. And we throw back 38 on the way back. Execute the trade. Okay, now we've got a proper hand. I don't know what. I must have missed a button there. Dersma, Ewan. Who do you say said Sharp was the second pick for Eagles? Okay, so who are Essendon going here in this one? I did the trade before the draft start, right at the start, so Gold Coast end up with an extra. Gold Coast end up with an extra 280 points for the Patterson bid. Makes more sense to them do it before it actually comes, so that pick 15 doesn't get eaten needlessly for them. If they don't get that trade sorted before West Coast bid on them, they're going to burn. They're just going to be it's going to cost them more points for no reason. Okay, so Essendon, we're thinking Roby. Okay, I like it. Where are we? Where is he? There he is. Chills, I need to reach out to Pommy. I have. He's actually keen. I just need to tee it up. I need to get a time and a date, and we'll do that for you guys for sure. We've had some convos behind the scenes. Hopefully he's still keen. That was a few days ago. Well, I've had a kid in the meantime. Pommy's a big reason why this thing exists at all. He did a video that kind of inspired me, where I wanted to kind of take it a step further and show some people the knock-on effects of everything. Roby, 100%. Thanks for running that on the Blues with the doggies trade. I'm still here, just a little late to the party. That's all good, mate. I'm still working out this 10-second delay. I talk and then I'm waiting for someone to add. So I want a 10-second delay. So if you guys want to anticipate, it can help speed some things up as well. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just on a delay. Guess I'm hoping there's a later bid for Ison. Yeah, exactly. I think you would. I think 25 sounds about right. Again, I'm not going to pretend like I'm a super scout. I've just watched the same highlight reel as everyone else, the same 3-minute highlight reel that we all watch. Your best bet's to talk to someone like Dylan Alexander or someone that know it inside out. The Richmond bid on Patterson, then take Cumming and CDT. All right, so this is for Essendon. Then Richmond bid on Patterson. Yep, so Gold Coast can match it. They're going to chew up 25, 26, and 27. Richmond bid on Patterson, then take Cumming and CDT. I like it. CDT at 7. And then we got Essendon again. I reckon Essendon keep Carlton honest. I think that's what's going to happen. Does anyone know who bid on Kako back in the day? I'd love to know. Essendon bid on Dean. Yeah, I thought so. That's what I'm thinking too. I wonder if they're, I was just thinking if there's like a little payback thing going on there. Probably not. Essendon bid on Dean and then take Xavier Taylor. All right. So this is our draft board at the minute. Dersma, Ewell, Sharp, Roby, Patterson, Cumming, Duff, Tyler, Dean, and Taylor. Annabelle sliding, yeah. Frizzy are laughing at this point. Annabelle needs to have gone. I think Annabelle goes in the top 6 pretty comfortably. He has to. Melbourne will be loving it, but they're not going to get him because Brizzy can match it and then some now. Brizzy have got a great hand that they wouldn't have expected at the start of the draft. I I think it'll be Melbourne that does the Dean bid. Annabelle would be for Dean bid too. Yeah, Essendon would look at Annabelle for sure. I agree. I really think Richmond or Essendon will bid on Annabelle as well. They could definitely do with like a player like him. Both of them. And then Melbourne on the clock. I keep going back to Schubert because after I don't see the point of them bringing in Myercheck. Myercheck's got what, a season or two left in him, and he's not going to be getting the same delivery that he had from the Collingwood midfielders, from these young Melbourne midfielders. So I think he's going to have a tough time next year. I think it's going to show he was the benefactor of some silver service. You got Pendlebury, Dacos, Sidebottom, just the amount of goals they would have given him over the journey. I think Melbourne are going to get sold short. So I genuinely think Schubert is a massive chance for Melbourne, and I think they should do it. Whoever takes Roby will bid on Annabelle. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Melbourne fans need a tool, and the same with, they're not going to have a ruckman soon. How old's Max? He'd be 32 at least. Melbourne could do with some back half kicking, I think. Pair Josh Lindsay with Xavier Lindsay. Get each of them out on the wing until they develop to proper distributors off the bat. Sam Grill would suit Hawthorn's style pretty well, I reckon. Imagine him spreading from a pack, just another one. Greaves, he could start to fill in that, what's his name? Cornelio role. Cornelio's on his way out. Yeah, I know they're unrelated. I'm just thinking of their development. They're both, where would you put them? You'd start putting Langford in the guts, and you've got Rivers. So that'll be your two main ones. They've lost Petrarca and Oliver, obviously. Max will be in the middle with him. So I'm thinking you got to put them on the field somewhere. So put them out on the wing where they can just, do that 45 kick, keep it low, keep it fast, bit of penetration, and it just basically get them used to field kicking in the AFL scene, and then put him in more prominent roles. Lindsay started off last season like a house on fire as well. Gorn soon to be 34. Yeah. Blues go Farrow at 15. That's a bit of a steal. Eagles would have been gutted. How about alike boys and girls? Captain Blight. Finally, I got you online. Thanks for the content. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Whoever takes Roby will be on Animal. All right. Who are we thinking for West Coast if Farrow is gone? West Coast need help all across the field. Doveston would be a good one. Here he's likened to Charlie Cameron. Charlie Cameron-like energy and precision. Small with pace, pressure, and genuine scoreboard threat. I'm not sure if the Eagles need a forward because we don't even get it that far. We don't get it in the forward line, so we don't even know how good the guys we got there are. That's the problem. I think we need help from the back half up would be, if I was Matty Clark, that's how I'd tackle it. Forward line should be our least of our concern. We don't even get it in there it's just another guy standing there waiting for the ball to come his way. We need help down back and we need help in the guts. That's why Sharp is crucial, I think. Let's go Doveston anyway. He's going to replace Liam Ryan. Who the doggies taking, guys? Quinton, hey mate, how are you? Who are we thinking for doggies? Thread gold, Oscar Taylor. Both defenders. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Physical defender who wins one-on-one, then transitions cleanly, can attack from half-back like Tom Stewart or Rioli, or an intercepting defender who reads the play early, marks cleanly, and directs backline shape. They probably need someone like Threadgold. More of a Harris Andrews guy. That's his, obviously, max ceiling. Very, very unlikely to reach it. But who have they got at the moment? It's like Lob. Who's their other key defender last year? I'm trying to think. Rory Lobb. Drawing blanks. Dogs key back. Yeah, I've gone Threadgold here. Then it'll be Taylor if you guys need half back. So Richmond, remember in this draft, Richmond have picked up Cumming and CDT. Richmond could really take whoever they like. You got Mitch Marsh, Philippou still on the board, Oscar Taylor, Hibbins Hargrave. Hey Quinton, how are you, mate? Blue supporter, I won't hold it against you. I hopped on Blue Abroad's podcast the other day. Not a podcast, just a stream. Yeah. Then I think Richmond take a risk and get Baker, who could be a gun on the wing. Hardworking presents an outlet. Hey, good call. There you go. He's a fella that got injured from memory. Barker to Richmond. He's gone. And then we got the Crows' first pick. So Richmond walk away with... Are they finished? Yeah, Richmond have finished. Richmond have finished for the day under this scenario with those trades. They walk away with Cumming, CDT, and Harley Barker. You'd take that. Who are we thinking for Adelaide? You got actually a couple of good Adelaide prospects. You got Marsh, Philippou. Philippou to the Crom. Gone. Tell you what, we'll go to the end of the first round, which is Hawthorn, and then we'll reboot it. Start thinking of another scenario we can play out for a first rounder, first night of the draft. Cheers, Quinton. I appreciate the support. I'm enjoying this, like YouTube and streaming and stuff. It's all new to me, but I'm getting there. Crows, Philippa. Yep, we got that one. Cat's bid on Kyle. All right. That's a Sydney player, isn't it? From memory. I've got him way down. I've got to update these rankings a little bit. There he is. Countable defender. He scores late, rebounds on 6. Okay. So for that, Sydney are giving up their 2 picks down here. Behind the North double picks. Harry Kyle's matched. We've still got Geelong, Freo, and Hawks to go. You want to do North picks? We can do North picks. We'll do extras. Why not? Not going to kill me. Cats bid on Kyle and then take Taylor. All right, where's Taylor? He's up the road up. There he is. So another defender. Tom Stewart's got to be getting on as well. I think he came into the league as a 24, 25-year-old. Feels like he's had 5 or 6 All-Australian Blazers. That would put him in the mid-30s already, wouldn't it? Evan, I agree. If you guys could spread the word to Cal, I'd love to get him on. I think everyone would love to see what he could do with this before the draft. I've got to find a way to reach out. But if you guys can find a way, just let him know about it. See what he can do. That'd be wicked. Hey, milkshakes. I tell you what, the draft sucks every year in your Collingwood. Yeah, Collingwood traded away their future. I think it was for Houston, wasn't it? But when you do get a good pick, you end up with a Dacos, so you can't complain too much. Freo. Who's Freo taking, guys? Cheers, Evan. Appreciate it, man. Hey, Angus, I'll show you what I've based it on, but I just haven't updated it. Basically, I put together a, what's the word? Not a consensus, but a running aggregate of where all the main scouts are putting their list together. Oh, it's not loading for me. I'll bring it up another time. Anyway, yeah, mate, if you can send it through, let's see what you got. That'd be good. Loving the scenarios and input. As a Tigers fan, I would have been hyped if you end up with those three, especially Barker, because we lack talent on the wing. All right, so we've got 2 more picks for this first round, and we'll do the North. So I'm thinking for Freo, I'm thinking we're going Pickett. He's actually likened to Cozzy Pickett, and I believe he's related to Pickett as well. Have we got any notes on that? Oh, I nearly reset that. Who's Hawks going for second? Remember, they took Sam Grill with their first. What other list hole are they plugging? Probably defence. What are you guys thinking? Hawks take Marsh. Replacement Jake Stringer, Jack Gunston. Gunston's got to be mid-30s as well. You don't have 1 or 2 years left. All right. And then here's your North picks. Who's North taking? This is the draft board that they're looking at when they're up. This will be the first picks of the second night. Bid on Swade, revenge against Essendon. Okay, let's do it. Let's see if Essendon can match. I think they can. So they're giving up pick 26. They've overpaid by 2, so they're just gonna get a little bit put at the back. They can match that first pick of the second night. North go Ledoik. I think we took him earlier, did we? No, there he is. Sorry, my bad. And who else we thinking? Archie. And maybe take Emmett. Where is he? Emmett. Ruck forward. Who's their ruck at the minute? Sherry. But if he plays up front, put him next to Slovakia, whatever his name is. What's his name? Drawing another blank. Yeah, Emmett. I've gone Emmett. So we're going Ledoiki and Emmett. All right, so that's our first round there, guys. Dersma, Ewland, Eagles take Sharp. So Eagles walk away. Dersma, Sharp, and Doveston. I'd take that for sure. Gold Coast are walking away with Ewland and Patterson. No other picks in the first. Essendon walk away with Roby and Taylor and Swade. That's starting off that second night. Who else we got? Richmond are walking away with Cumming, Cooper, Duff, Tytler, I think, and Harley Barker. That's another good draft. Good hand. Brizzy are laughing with this. Pick 10. We expect that to go a lot earlier than that. That leaves them with 36 and 40. I actually made a video. I think I've released it. It might even be out by now. Going through the different scenarios where Annabelle gets picked up at pick 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Give that a look and a like. But yeah, that never crossed my mind. I don't think that's ever happening. Pick 10. Melbourne are walking away with Schubert and Lindsay. I think everyone's walking away pretty happy with this. Grill, I don't know if... Yeah, Grill would be good with the spread. And Marsh, yeah, that fits. Ollie Greaves. Carlton are getting Dean and Farrow. Did they get Ison in this? No, they didn't. All right, sweet. We'll take that. Let's save that one. What's the date? Subscribers draft. 9th of the 11th. 25. Beauty. Saved. All right, let's boot it. Let's go again. What do we got? Milkshakes. I think around pick to 10 to 14, someone will do a surprise pick to open up the draft. I hope so. I just want someone to come from the clouds. That'd be cool. And just throw everyone into disarray. All right, who wants to kick off with some trades and some random scenarios you got? Spilled a little bit of beer there. Damn. Can I try Essendon 21-27 for 18 and 36? Who's rocking 18 and 36 at the minute? Gold Coast. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what the trade calculator says, or trade simulator, sorry. Essendon and Gold Coast. 21-27. So remember, you always, before we even put this in, you want Gold Coast to be getting more points at the start of it. That's the aim of the game because that's all they care about. They want to match Ewell and Patterson. 18 and 36. 100 points. I think that's a little less than the other one, the 15 for 21 and 27. So what? I'll write that down. 101 points. Because I dare say Gold Coast will push for that. 101 points or 21 and 27 for 15. Yeah, see, Gold Coast pick up 281 points if they push for 15, which also benefits Essendon moving up the draft. But we're going to go with your scenario here. So we're going to go 18 and 36. Probably a bit more realistic for Essendon side. What else we got? St Kilda will trade up for Jevon Philippo. We can put that in, man. Dale, welcome. St Kilda said if team bids on Kai Fincher, they're not going to match it. Have they come out and said that publicly, or it's a bit of a random thing to come out and say like before you even draft? You might end up picking him up, and he's like, What's that about?" St Kilda trade 2 future firsts to Carlton for Jevon Philippo. I think Essendon will want a late pick for Alcácer. I think you're right. So Essendon have got Swade and Alcácer. So according to Carl Toymey, they're looking at 5 picks. So let's say that's Alcácer. Let's say that's Swade. They really want to bump that up and get to points because I don't think Swade's going at 30. He's going to go in the mid-20s at least. So, yeah, they've got to do some fancy footwork. Does Essendon's pick 6 and 21 match Richmond's pick 3 points-wise? Did you want to... Let's have a look. Essendon's pick 6. Wait, I've lost you. Hang on. 6 and 21 match Richmond's point. Oh, I've got to reboot it. 6 and 21 for Richmond's pick 3 points-wise. Richmond get in front, which is what you want. They've got the most valuable piece in the trade. You always want them to have, they want to feel like they're winning the trade. So under this scenario, what does 21 do for their tail end? Let's have a look. So their tail end is 38. Their last player that they're expected to pick is pick 38. So they're moving up 17 spots. They're moving back 3 spots to do it. You might do that. You're still going to get a top-end talent. $30 will come up. It has like 5 Gold Coast and Richmond picks before it. Yeah, it probably will. Yeah. So these are all executed draft picks prior to any picks going in. Obviously, if you did it after, like when they're on the clock, when you got that 5-minute warning, that can change things. So, yeah, it's interesting. What else have we got for that? For this start of this draft, who wants to go for pick one? Who's Eagles taking, or are they trading it? What's going on here? Oh, hang on. Sorry, Angus. I've got to reboot yours, man. I've got to go back 21, 27 for 18 and 36. And we can see how that affects the bids for Hewlin and Patterson. Has AFL approved Dougie Cochran? I don't know, mate. I'm not too sure. I'm not too clued on with that one. I can show you what the Port had Adelaide have in hand for that bid. They've got a couple of second rounders and their own first. So if they wanted to bundle them into another first, that could be an option. Carlton are obviously trying to accrue first as well for Walker. They've already got that Sydney one from the Charlie Kerner trade. I have been asked a few times about Adelaide trading up, giving a future first to Carlton for pick 9, which is doable. But I also did a video on that in regards to when it's all said and done, Adelaide only move up 4 spots, which is a bit rich just to move up. Would you give up your next year's first just to move up 4 spots? I wouldn't, but I might be different. If Eagles bid on Patterson at 1 and Hewlin at 2, or vice versa, I can show you, man. Let's have a look. Have we moved any of these picks? Where are we for Gold Coast? That's their initial draft hand. So, in short, no, they can't. So they'll go Hewlin at 1. It's going to chew up all their first 4 picks, and they're going to get about pick 46 on the way back. That's the change. And then if you go Patterson, they're way behind. They need to acquire 827 points. So they need to pull a pick 18 out of the air. So that's trading your first. That's trading your future first rounder right there. They need 827 points. They haven't got their future first either. That's already traded away. I think that was that in the Petrarca deal? I think it was. Yeah, it was the Petrarca deal there. So, yeah, Eagles can really screw Gold Coast if they wanted to. Yeah, correct, Evan. So the list, the picks here I have in green is based on list spots. And what I've done, I've based it off Cal Toimy's article, but I've also gone through the ins and outs, and then I've usually left 1 or 2 max for play-ons and the supplement draft and the supplement period. And you know how clubs bring in 1 or 2 players every year just before the season starts. I leave 1 or 2 spots because I don't think they're going to lock their list in at the end of all these drafts. They'll still try on players during the preseason. I usually only leave 1 or 2 though. I've got no picks for Port. In his article, he said they've got a chance of 0. I think that's unlikely. I think Port will take a pick. I've been meaning to change that. I just haven't got around to it. But their first pick's at pick 47 anyway, so they can't do a ton of damage. Sorry, let me catch up on the chat here. Cochran's not approved yet. West Coast, Dersman, and CDT. Okay, let's do it. So let's reboot it. I've just tried to show you that the Gold Coast won't be able to match it. Dersma and CDT. All right, Richmond's on the clock. Here we go. Joel, welcome. How are you, mate? I think he'll go top 10, but I don't see this is the case. Who are we talking about? Coming. Rumour was Port just re-rookie 3 players. Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. So, yeah, they want to... It's interesting. Richmond bid on Dean and take Taylor. Oh, okay, something different. Richmond do not like Carlton. They're taking Dean. Where is he? He's usually up the front somewhere. There he is. So that pushes. It will be inserted below Gold Coast and above North Melbourne at around pick 25. I think that'll move up to about pick 24. There you go, 24. Yep. And what was the second one? Take Taylor. All right, this is looking a bit different than what we've had. Surely we're looking at some bids on the Gold Coast boys at this point. Bid on all three of the top five. They are surely worthy of that. So let's go Ewan now. Gold Coast would be loving that. They've only burnt pick 14 because obviously Carlton bid. It's not pick 15 anymore. Carlton matched their pick. That 15's now become 14. 18's become 17. Richmond are going to keep Gold Coast honest again. Patterson, they can match that now. So those 5 picks, if they get past the 4, Gold Coast are laughing. That's good to know. And I'm just pretty certain Brizzy can match it at this point. Yeah, 17 and 22. Do you think Swade will get bid on early? I think he'll get bid on between 20 and 25, would be my guess. And again, I haven't seen enough of him to really put much stock behind it. I'm just going off the other scouts. Okay, Annabelle next. So Annabelle's gone. Okay, so Richmond's on the clock with pick 8. Who Richmond take, Grill or Roby? Let's say they're dead set on Grill. How far can Roby slide? Essendon, they're probably going to take. They're going to be loving Roby. Yeah, I think there'll be a heap of unmatched bids for sure. It'll be interesting. Let's take Roby. They can't believe their luck. Roby and Sharp for Essendon. Anyone got anything against that? So this is a bit of a different draft. I haven't seen this one play out. Roby and Schubert. Okay. Draft is Sharp's slipping back. Under last people go Schubert. Where was he? There he is. Schubert. Dale reckons Hawthorn's going to bid on Swade to get back at Essendon. Possibly. I love it that they don't like each other. So good. Freo should take Pickett. I think there's a good chance he could. I think he's around that mark. Who are we thinking for pick 11 for Melbourne? Would Melbourne take Sharp? I can see them doing that. I think Sharp's going in the top 10. I hope Eagles take him at 2. We need clearances like there's no tomorrow. Sharp and Doveston. Done. So this leaves Cumming available for Hawthorn, Lindsay, Greaves and Mitch Marsh. Who's the best match for Hawthorn? Hey, TL, how are you, mate? Doesn't matter too much if Hawthorn bid on 21 as it's Essendon's pick anyway. Essendon will have to match that bid for 21 with 25 and 26, which they'll have enough. That 25 and 26 will equal that for sure. There you go. It's 1,000 points right there, and Hawthorn's 21. Pick 21 is only worth 721. So they'll have enough to match Swade if Hawthorn bothered with it. Just with those two in the chamber. So we're going Greaves with Hawks. Collingwood should take Leon Kickett. I don't know enough about Leon Kickett either. Collingwood's first pick's back at 36. They can obviously trade up by bundling 36 and 44. 55 is not really much worth to anyone. Who did we say? We said Greaves. Who are the Giants taking? Greaves, yep. North Melbourne should take Mitch Marsh. I don't know if Marsh will fall that far. North Melbourne's first pick is his first pick of the second night. Coming to Sydney. Greater Western Sydney. Coming to... All right, this is a bit of a different landscape for the Eagles. Who are we thinking for the Eagles? I could see the Eagles taking Lindsay. They need a kicker, and he'd pair pretty nicely with McCarthy coming through. Essendon haven't officially traded up yet, as you can't pick trade. Yeah, exactly. The pick trading window is closed until just before it. Oh, we're going Farrow, GWS. All right, let's do Farrow. Where is he? There he is. Farrow, GWS. Eagles taking Lindsay. So Cummins really slipping here. Doggies still need a defender. Their forwards and midfield is pretty set under most people's eyes. I think they need a key back. What was his name? Threadgold would be their best. I think I like that match. Threadgold and Doggies. Who are we thinking? Threadgold Bolter. Let's do it. No way Cumming makes it past Melbourne. Nah, I don't think so. I think who's a big... Well, obviously the big surprise is Eagles and Richmond not bothering with the Queensland teams. That's pushed everyone. Oh, they should be gone anyway. Who's really the bolter here? It's all pretty even. It's like a big... there's like tiers, and they're all pretty much in that same tier, aren't they? Threadgold. I agree. I think that's a good match. And then who we got? Do you reckon Cumming gets to... How stoked would the Crows be with Cumming to last until their first pick? They wouldn't have expected that. Crom to Filippo. Okay, we're going... Cummings slipping further. All right, we can do that. Who's get... Filippo. There he is. Melbourne unsure. They'll take Doveston. So Geelong... Would Geelong take Cumming? I don't see why they wouldn't. Oh, Geelong Filippo. Okay, I'm on that 10-second delay. So we've got Cumming, and then Geelong's going to Filippo. I still think Freo take Pickett, but I'm happy to go with the group. Who's Freo going with? Yeah, Cummings going to the Crow. There's no chance Cumming lasts that long, I don't think. I think he's much closer to pick 9 to pick 12, probably. What about Freo? Freo take Noah Hibbins-Hargrave. Done. Pies first pick 39 could end up at 31. So what are we at now? Pies are at 36. We can play it out for you and we can see where the Pies go. We'll have to match the bids along the way. So I think here, see, Carlton have got 22. They want to take Ison. I wouldn't put it past Essendon putting a bid on Ison. Not really wanting him, but making Carlton honest. So that's pretty much an exact match with what they've got. With the discount, it ends up being just enough, and then they get it. They'll Pies first pick 39. So they didn't even burn an extra pick. So Collingwood didn't move up the ladder or up the. One thing I should clarify for you guys as well is these numbers in the green are actually how do I word it? They're going to be this number here represents 36th best player. This number here represents 62nd best player, but it doesn't include passes, okay? So when that pick rolls around, it'll say Hawthorn pick. Let's say there's been 3 passes before the 62nd best player goes. It'll say Hawthorn pick 65. But they're really, in reality, because we don't really give a crap about passes, they're going to get the 62nd best player. That's what I'm trying to say. It just gives you a better understanding of the value of the pick, because you can see here Port are not expected to take it, and that 48 is going to be a pass, but Collingwood are picking up 56, if that makes sense. Okay, so I've missed a couple of chats. Okay, Essendon are going Oscar Taylor. I like it. There he goes. Barker for Essendon. So we went with Angus with Oscar Taylor. Marsh for Essendon. I've got 3 different answers. I've gone with the top of the ladder. Can't say Essendon taking 2 tours. So they've gone Taylor and they've gone Schubert. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Widescreen, Harry, can we do one where Gold Coast don't match Patterson, as in they have the preference for their other academy kids instead? Maybe do it at pick 2 or 3. Want to see with extra players available how it changes round 1. Yeah, let's do it. Everyone happy with that one? I think we got one more pick in the first round. Who wants to take that Hawthorn pick? First in, I'm going that player. Hawks take Marsh. Done. All right. Happy with that one? Eagles take who they're expected. Carlton had to overpay for Dean. Richmond walk away with Grill and Taylor. Queensland teams are very happy with the late bids. Essendon walk away with Roby, Schubert, and Oscar Taylor. Melbourne walk away with Sharp, Doveston. Hawks walk away with Ollie Greaves and Mitch Marsh. They take that. GWS happy with Farrow. Eagles went with Lindsay, CDT, and Dersma. Doggies are happy with the next best key defender. Threadgold. Cumming. Crows will be stoked with that. That's not a bad match with Filippo. Freo. No Hibbins Hargrave. We'll take that. Carlton had to pay for Ison, but that came at the right time. So pick 20 still worked for them. They just didn't get a compo pick on the back end, and that pushes their last pick out to 41. And we've gone Oscar Taylor for Essendon to pair with Schubert and Roby. Oh, yeah, and Marsh and Greaves. All right. Let's call that number 2 for today's date. There we go. Saved. All right. I've missed a little bit of chat there. Noah Hibbins-Hargraves and Murphy Reid of this draft to the same team. Big call. I like it. Man, I wish the Eagles took Murphy Reid. We've got Bowen. I don't know if Bowen's going to be any good. Just couldn't really get much of a game. But if you can't get a game in the Eagles team, alarm bells could be ringing. Do you think North Melbourne will regret giving up that first round pick? Definitely. They barely played that. What was his name? The brother, the twin. They barely played him. He played like 2 or 3 games all year. Gold Coast not patching would be insane. When the Lions, Suns, Blues. Oh, sorry, milkshakes. That's right. We're going to explore Collingwood for you. How many? Let's just keep going for milkshakes here and see how many picks get chewed up for Collingwood before their first pick. Let's play out another 10 to 14 picks. Whitlock, that was it. North Melbourne went for Whitlock. All right, so North are on the clock. Who are North going, guys? I just want to explore how far Collingwood can come up the board. North are going to take Ledoik and Barker. 2 best available, according to my rankings. We'll take that. Oh, sorry, Joel. You just little. You got your bid on King for Essendon. Keeping Sydney honest. They've just got enough because they're pretty much 2 picks away, Sydney. Yep, I've got bids on King. I've got that Chunky Eagle. Got that. Who are Essendon going? I think Swade hasn't gone yet, has he? Who are we thinking for North? For Essendon, sorry. How late can Gold Coast match Adensol? So Gold Coast at the moment, 20, where are we? We're at pick 25. They can probably match him into the mid-30s. But remember, this is a bit of an unrealistic situation. They didn't give up that many points up the front. They will give up a lot more points in real life, I think. Can you scroll? Essendon taking Curtin. I'm not even sure if I put Curtin in here. I think I have. There you go. Pair him up with Caddy. Oh, I was wondering why nothing was rebooting. There you go. Essendon bid on Adensol at 27. Let's have a look. They should be able to match it. So they're going to burn 32 and 36. And they're going to get a compo pick at around 38. Let's see where that is and see where it ends up. So what does it say? After Geelong and before Gold Coast. So it's going to get jammed in between those two. And then Gold Coast have got back-to-back picks. Essendon have 10 key forwards on the list in this scenario. Yeah, they're going to have plenty to choose from. You just take the best one available. Hopefully you land on a superstar out of the 3. Essendon back on the clock. They've taken Cody Curtin with their first one. He's a big boy. I saw a photo of him the other day. Jeez. If he could be anything like his brother, could be dangerous. Who are we thinking for Essendon? North might go Louis Emmett. Have I taken North? I've already picked for North at the moment. Their next pick, they haven't got a next pick. Pick 45. Essendon, Swade, yep. I can see that happening for sure. Who's Sydney taking? Lockie Carmichael. I think Essendon will just take him. I'll wait for the chat to catch up. Essendon, Swade or trade down or order a future? Let's go Swans, Kyle. So is Kyle generally considered a bit better than Carmichael at this point? I've got to update these rankings. They're from like when I first started building this thing. So a couple of the orders of people down, especially down the back, are going to be skew if. I think the perception of certain players has changed a bit down the back. Swans bid on Tyler from West Coast Academy. Wouldn't mind seeing if that can be matched. Let's undo that, and then we'll go Kyle on the back end of that. So Williams is... I've seen him. There he is. Eagles give up 31 and 39. So Collingwood already moved up to 35 here, and then we're going King for Sydney. Both situations I can see playing out. Oh, I've lost him. Maybe I'm too far down. Is King being repopulated? What's going on? Kyle. Why was I saying King? Kyle was the word I'm looking for. That's the guy. So Kyle's out. And Collingwood is still looking at pick 35. And we've got the doggies on the clock. Doggies have picked up Threadgold with their first rounder. Who are we thinking for the doggies' second rounder? What other list spots do they need filling out? Yeah, I was thinking Kyle and I was saying King. Sorry about that. Dogs bid on Carmichael, hoping the Swans can't match. I like it. Where are we? Get down there. You're right. So Sydney does... If Carmichael goes at pick 42, sorry. 31. Why is that? As I said, there's another bug. I've just picked up a bug there. I'll fix that. But they haven't got enough to match anyway. So Sydney's best pick is 41. This is pick 31. He's going to the doggies. Let me write that bug down. I'll fix that tomorrow. Pick number displaying correctly. Those are the things why I can't just release this just yet. You can imagine me giving this to people and they're just getting 1,000 emails. Well, this isn't matching up. Pick number displaying incorrectly with pop-up. Bug notice with pop-up. What's the date? 9th, 11th. I'll fix that. When I get rid of all these bugs, then I can think about giving this to everyone else. That'd be good. Okay, sorry. So Giants are taking Emmett. Melbourne are taking Kondagiannis. I don't even know where he's populated in this thing. And Collingwood is sneaking up. Who is Richmond taking? Actually, Melbourne could take Pickett. That's actually not a bad one. Did I take Freo? No, he's still sitting there, Pickett. Best available, actually. Of course, there's a bug on 9/11. Yeah, that's it. Oh, this thing's had bugs non-stop. I've got most of them. I've caught most of them. It's just there's always some that pop up, which is what I'm worried about when I release this thing. Melbourne Pickett. Okay, let's go Melbourne Pickett. Makes sense. Then they're there for good. Kick it for Richmond. I think he's not in this thing. Oh, yes, there you go. And here we go. Who was it? It was Milkshakes, I think. We're up to Collingwood. Who are you thinking? This is your range. So Collingwood, we've had a few match bids. They're looking around pick 35 for their first pick. The best available according to my rankings from weeks ago is Fincher, Leray. Leray was actually in Twomey's top 20, I think, right at the start of the year. He's just been falling since. Dalton. I thought they have got another. Where is he? They've got a next gen ruckman as well, McCarthy. He might go around that area as well. A lot of people saying Dalton. Jack Dalton gone. All right, guys, give us. I'm going to take about 20 seconds. I'm just going to quick toilet break and grab another beer. Think of some more scenarios for us and some trades, and we'll kick off another one. Give us 20 seconds. Thanks. Bye. All right. What do we got? Sorry about that. Okay. Let's reboot it. West Coast taking Swadling. He's the next best WA prospect. Rodriguez has fallen off the perch a bit. I thought he was the favourite for the first WA pick most of the year. Now no one's talking about him. Okay. Cat's taking Miller. I'm assuming that was at the back when I'll write that down for later. Angus. Essendon 6, 21, and 27 for Carlton's 9 and 11. Let's have a look. Winnie, what's going on, buddy? You all right? Good boy. So Carlton, Essendon are dropping off points in that one. I'd like to see Eagles bid on Harry Dean. It's not even a bad thing if they just choose not to match it. Like if we end up with Harry Dean, I know, ended up with the best key defender in the draft. As far as this trade goes, yeah, it makes sense. Carlton pick up more points. Essendon move back 3, but they bump up way up. Let's run it. Okay, let me go back. So I've got the Angus one. I've got that. West Coast then take Taylor Byrne. I think they need a small forward. Reminds me of Dylan Moore. Agree. Try it. The Patterson bid high, so Suns can't match it. Carlton should take Finn Davis. So Patterson to West Coast or Richmond, though? Patterson's not going to get matched. Okay. So Patterson not to get matched means he has to go at pick 3 from memory. So Yulin will go 2, and they burn all their front-ended picks, and then we go Patterson. Yeah, they haven't got enough. So pick 3. So they opt not to go into deficit for next year, and they go, you know what, Eagles, you have them. So Eagles end up with Patterson, probably not what they're expecting, but they're not a bad result either. So I think that's a good idea. If you rate, I agree. So what you should really do, that's correct. Who we got here? TL73. You should take the Gold Coast player that you prefer if you're the Eagles and bid on the other guy first. And then you're going to put them in a... So let's say you prefer Zeke Ulen. He's widely regarded as the second best player. You go, okay, we're going to take Patterson. We like him. Gold Coast like, no, he's ours. And then you go Ulen back-to-back. So then they've really got to think about it. 229 points into deficit next year, which, I don't know, pick 18, 220. That pushes you back to 600 points. So, assuming that they're they win the premiership, that'll push their first round of back-to-back pick 25. But again, they're changing the points index next year, and it's all over the shop. But it's just a guide. How's that for a result? Dersma and Ulen to the Eagles. Ulen, his brother, is there. They can't burn him. That's a good point. Bodie's there. Make Carlton pay. Pick 7 and 20. Because we already did that trade, didn't we? And that bumps Richmond up. Just to see after Patterson's comments the other week. Yeah, he was getting real shitty that people weren't scouting him as much as they thought they should, I believe. I'm going off the Dan Does Footy podcast. Dylan Alexander popped on it. He's already training with Petrarca. Okay, so the good chance he's going. All right, so that's just... I'm going to reboot it. I'm going to do that trade for... What was it? I've got to go back up a little bit. Sorry. 9-11 for 6. All right. Who's West Coast going for pick 2? Gold Coast have no 26 first. That's correct. Yeah. Annabelle is my favourite player in the draft. He reminds me of Cousins. Oof, take that. Benny Cousins used to train at the other end of the footy oval for my junior club. We'd be training on a, Tuesday arvo, and Benny Cousins was an 18, 19-year-old. I think he just picked up the Rising Star, and he was training at the other end of the oval down at West Leeming. Played at my junior club, Bull Creek Lehman. And then he hit a rough patch. All right. Who are we going pick 2? Roby. Let's do it. Richmond. Who's going Richmond? Richmond, Uland, unmatched. Whew. Can't see that happening. Bid on Patterson, then matched, then bid on Uland, matched. Okay. Done? Now, who are we thinking? Got Richmond at pick 5 again. That's right, Joel. Yeah, we had a couple of Brownlow medalists, Ben Cousins, Simon Black. I think Jonathan Hay had an All-Australian year. We had another rising star with Reece Palmer. He got a rising star one year. A few players. Richmond CDT. Richmond CDT done. Essendon are going to trade up. Essendon are already on the clock. Annabelle bid. Yep. It's making sense. So this is crazy with Patterson being unmatched. It's going to change it up a bit. I like it. Richmond, yeah, already got on CDT for Richmond. Essendon are on the clock now. Essendon Taylor. Who are we thinking for Carlton? Carlton's on the clock now, guys. Taylor, I've gone Taylor for Essendon. Yep, I've already done that. Then Sharp for Carlton. They're not taking Dean. So Richmond ended up with Patterson and CDT. So Richmond are already done. And then you want to bid on Dean after Carlton's first bid. They got no... Oh, they can match it. Okay. So Burns 25 and 20 and 25. So that's what they gave up to... They got from Essendon in that trade, wasn't it? Yeah. Ish. 20 and 25, and we traded, what was the trade? 20 and 27. Yeah, so that's those picks there. And they got pick 6, which got them Sharp. So they ended up with Sharp and Dean. And Carlton sent pick 9 and 11. So that's a good deal. They'll take that every day of the week. Great result. Melbourne. Grill maybe. Grill for Carlton. A few people saying Grill. Carlton should have gone outside running Grill. Okay, sorry, let's go back. Quite a few people saying that. And then Harry Dean. So that's a cool way that Carlton can get around a bid for Harry Dean, but you got to be praying that he doesn't go in that top 7. Carlton taking Sharp is murder. He can learn from Cripps and Walsh, I guess. Not that Walsh might be on the move, but who knows? Melbourne, Sharp, and Doveston done. Schubert's going to slide to 19. Yeah, not too many of these guys need key forwards, do they? Crows trade up with Melbourne for pick 7. I'll have to do that on the next one. Who was that? Widescreen? I'll have to do that on the next one. No one after 11 needs a key power forward. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Who's Essendon's next pick? They've taken Taylor. I'm thinking Cumming is more than likely. So trade up. Who's going to trade up for pick 12? Adelaide. Crows trade up with Melbourne for pick 7. Nah, that's gone. That's done. Give me a trade or a pick. What are we thinking? Hawthorn will go take Noah Hibbins-Hargrave. All right, I'm going to go Cumming. I think he's been connected to Essendon a fair bit. Hibbins-Hargrave for Hawthorn. All right. Who are we thinking for the Bombers? Feel like Carlton need Doveston as they have no good small forwards, but that would seem... They've got the fella from Sydney again. He's going to be good. I always forget his name. Oh, they picked him up at the Kernow trade, the fella from Sydney. Not... he's a gun from Adelaide. Kicked the first goal in the grand final. That's... Farrow for Essendon. Done. We got GWS now. Hayward. Florent, I don't rate at all. I'm talking about Hayward. Florent won't even... He'll be out of the AFL before long, I think. Yeah, Hayward. Hayward's an absolute jet. I would have liked to have seen what he could have ever done in the midfield. He was always tucked away in the forward line. Giants take Pickett. Oh, I like it. That's what we're after. Nice big reach. Who are we thinking for Eagles? Yeah, Florent got a 5-year deal at Carlton. Yeah, he can thank his agent big time. Ollie Greaves, I'd be happy with that as a West Coast supporter. We need someone to throw their body around in there. We got Doggies next. We've gone Greaves for the first one. Lindsay. Dogs are taking Lindsay. That's a good match. I don't mind that. That's a pretty good match. Good distributor. Crom are taking Philippou. Done. Doveston to the Doggies. Nah, he's gone. They've got West already. They've got West and they've got the blonde fella. He didn't play last year. They got him coming back. The guy that likes to shrug the shoulders and duck the head a bit. Waitman, that's the one. They've got Waitman coming back. Crows are loving life now. Yeah, Jevon Philippou, that's a good take. Yeah, Waitman. You guys got much better memories of me. I can see the player, just the names are escaping me. Geelong are going Mitch Marsh. Done. Who are we thinking for Freo? You want to go Schubert? I don't think Geelong will take Schubert. They've got Jezza Cameron and they've got Shannon Neal up the top. King and Adensol bids at these two picks. All right, for Freo. I like it. Have I missed his name? I think I missed it. He's around here somewhere. There he is. So Sydney Byrne 28 and 29. And Adensol. They should have enough because they chose not to match Dylan Patterson. They only matched one of the two Gold Coast players in this draft. So they should have enough. Yeah, they do. It actually falls perfectly for them. So if they wanted Adensol and Yulin and not go into deficit, that's how far they need Adensol to fall. Pick 24. 21, sorry. I got to fix that bug. That's annoying me. Put all this time in this app and there's a little bug that annoys you. Okay, so I missed a bit of chat there. Doveston for Freo. I like it. Has he gone? Oh, I've still got the chat. The search there, sorry. Oh, Doveston's already gone. Doveston's gone to Melbourne. Yeah, he's going to Melbourne. Farrow went to Essendon. Where are we up to? Sorry, guys. Gold Coast. So Freo's on the clock. Best available, according to these old rankings, are Schubert, Taylor, Threadgold, Ledoik, Barker, Carmichael, Emmett, and Swade. Who are we thinking? Wing for Freo is the weakness. I agree. And they need someone on the wing that can actually distribute the ball a bit. It's all well and good kicking at someone out there, but it's that next kick that just they sit it on top of Tracy. He jumps under it, and half the time he catches it, but the delivery there is useless a lot of the time. Yeah, I think Taylor's not a bad fit. No way Suns don't match Patterson. Yeah, we agree. I agree, Josh. I think he's getting matched, but we just wanted to explore it, see how it goes. In all likelihood, they're going to take Yulin and Patterson home. But, we'll just see how it plays out with that not getting matched. And that's effectively giving them Adensol as a result. And then their future picks, they've still got early picks to match another one. I think they've got another academy player in the wings as well. Threadgold for North, 100%. Yeah, I think that's a very good fit. Who's Hawks taking, guys? Sorry. Bagger supporter. No way Suns don't actually Taylor because he's ready. Hawks bid on Swede. I like it. We're going to wind up the Bombers. Essendon don't have enough match points. They're 83 points short, and that's at pick 23. So in this draft, they've ended up with Xavier Taylor, Sam Cumming, and Farrow. Not a bad hand already, and you want to add Swade to it. That was from that pick swap where they traded 6, 21, and 27, and they got 9 and 11 back. So you want to add Swade to Farrow, Cumming, and Taylor. To do that, what was it? It was 400 points or something. Where the heck is his name gone? Sorry. I'll just search it. $83 points. So how can Essendon get that last 83 points? Pick 28 and a third rounder. To Gold Coast pick. Gold Coast won't be matching any more bids. Is that going to be enough points? I think that's enough points. I think it is. Nah, it wasn't. Okay. Undo that. Essendon don't have enough points because Gold Coast didn't match. Yeah, exactly. So I think Swade is going to have to go to Hawthorn. Which isn't a bad fit. Definitely Barker, and they're loving life. Murray and Coulson, that's the ones. I do. I love how the AFL have tightened the screws on this points matching. Gold Coast going to find it hard, even getting 3 of their guys. I think. Future random trades so Essendon get their guy. Okay, let's do it. Draft player. They need 83 points. I read it wrong. I said 49. It was 83 points better. So the only way they can get 83 points more than 505 is North's second pick, sorry. So North are going to trade back a few spots. They're going to trade back 4 spots. Essendon get their points. And to make it happen, Essendon are going to give North a second rounder. Third round will probably be fair, but let's just say second rounder because they're desperate. Third round is probably fair. Swade goes Essendon. Gold Coast might be okay for points if they do a trade for pick 15, 21 and 27. Yeah, they should really explore all 17 teams for pick 15. Pick 15 is the moneymaker. There's a few options that can do it. North was one of them. But yeah, pick 15 is the big one. They need to get absolute maximum value for that. Yeah, Josh, I've seen that. The talk is next year you can only bid it with 2 picks only. So that's interesting for the Port Adelaides and Carltons of the world. Port have already got Sydney's first, but you'd think Sydney would be like a probably top 6 team, maybe top 4. So you're looking at pick 14-ish, and Carlton you'd think would be maybe fighting to get the 8, probably around their 11th or 12th mark. So they're probably like pick 6, pick 7 maybe. So 6 and 7 and 14. Let's say Eagles get the spoon, they bid on them. Don't know if that's going to be enough. I wonder if it would be now. Pick 1's 3,000. Pick 6, 16, and what did I say? Pick 12. Yeah, it wouldn't be enough. It'd need to be 2 picks in the top 7. That's based on this current points index. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they were changing it, and it's getting even tighter. Yeah, exactly. Adelaide came from the clouds this year. It'd be interesting to see if that was a 1-year wonder, like just something out of the gate that like won't get repeated, and they come back down to earth, or if they're there to stay. It'd be interesting. But they played some bloody good footy this year. Sorry, guys, I've got sidetracked there. So who's Hawthorn taken? Hawthorn don't want Swee, though. Would be 10th in line. Hawks take Barker. Done. And that is the end of the first round for this draft. Blues can always use a future pick plus Sydney first next year to move up. Next year. Yeah, they can. I'm just throwing it out there that West Coast or whoever wins the spoon bids on Walker straight off the bat, which again won't happen if there is just that train of thought that everyone wants their player to be the best in the the best in the nation. You don't want to look through the record books and it's like, oh yeah, we really wanted the other guy, but we got this guy instead. You want that guy to be the best in the nation. So they don't seem to bid much for that first rounder. That's that train of thought. But yeah, I know what you're saying. So pick 2. They probably could match it with what they've got. North, Schubert and Lodowski. So Schubert at pick 25. How has he fallen this far? No one wants a key forward. Joel saying Schubert is better than CDT in his opinion. I like it. I like those claims. I don't fall one way or the other. I'm just hoping Eagles don't take CDT. I think they will, but I don't really want them to when there's better options around. And you should have heard me all year. All year I was like, oh, I hope we get CDT. I hope we get CDT because I'm hypercritical of Bailey Williams. Watching Bailey Williams play footy and ruck for the Eagles kills me every week. It is just torture. So I was praying for some ruck help. But yeah, when you think about it, you really need midfield help. Schubert's getting 20 plus a game and kicking more than anyone did last year at the championship and much to improve on. Yeah, West Coast need mids. I agree, Quinton. Big time. So, all right, let's boot her up again. What do we got? Let's give some more. Sharp is Clay Hall. I've seen Sharp's stats compared to Matt Rouse in the same championships, the same games, and he's as good or better than Rao at the same point in their career. So that gives me a bit of hope with Sharp. I can't remember who showed me it. I think it was, I want to say Pommy and Oz. It was one of those guys. They compared him to Rao and they just put their stats next to each other. And Sharp's came up trumps. And Rao was a runaway number 1 pick at the time. Eagles need players that can make a difference now. CDT will be fine. Exactly. Yeah. CDT might be, if you get a Luke Jackson out of him, awesome, but it's not going to help Eagles anytime soon. I kind of see Sharp as a almost an Ollie Wines type of guy, like a guy that's just going to rock up every week and be in the top 5 or 6 players of your team. Every now and then he's going to be the best 2 or 3 players in the game. One of those type of guys. That's how I see Sharp. Whether that's true or not, I could be way off the mark. Yeah, good point, Joel. He didn't learn to win an uncontested ball. Well, he's added that to his game now, so now he's breaking away as well. All right, who's got some trades for me? Let's kick this next mock off with some trades. Yeah, he's safe, exactly. He's a safe pick. He's one of the safer picks in the top 10. So for whatever reason, I just keep comparing him to Ollie Wines. I don't know what. Maybe it's a South Australian thing. I don't know. Darcy Parish. Oh, yeah. Like it. Hopefully not with the injury history. Or the injury luck. If you're a West Coast fan, do you want Dunkley or Jackson? How I see Sharp. I'd prefer Dunkley every day of the week. Dunkley is a top 10 player in the comp. Jackson's nowhere near that, in my opinion. Yeah, his floor's higher. I agree. Yeah. And West Coast really need to hit on these picks. They need to. You can't have a Paddy Dowes or a John O'Rourke with this pick. You really just got to take the upside with Dersma. No issues with that. That's fine. He could be anything. And then just take the safety with Sharp. All right, who's going to throw some trades at me? He would allow Reed to be on the move and receive more. Exactly. That's what we're hoping for. I think people underestimate how much Elliot Yeo missing affected the Eagles as well. All right. I'd be fuming if Sharp was available and Richmond didn't take him. He just feels safe, Sharp. Like every game he seemed to be in the top, handful of players or whatever. Something the Eagles need desperately. All right, who we got? Who we got, guys? A Carlton more advantage. Yeah, Whitman, let's do it. Let's do trades. Carlton more advantage. Points trading 9 or 11 for Adelaide's 21st. For Adelaide's first or 11 for North's 23-24. So 11 for 23-24. Have I stuffed something up? Are you talking about 25-26? Let me just reboot it all. Yeah, 25-26 I think you're talking about. You might have been looking at 23-24 when picks were burnt. I think that's what's happened. So Carlton are actually worse off with 25 and 26 for pick 11. So Carlton are more advantaged, definitely trading pick 9 for a future first. And that pretty much locks up Cody Curtin for you. You just got to hope he has a really good year next year, and then you're set for Carlton. One of those instances where you get that number one player in the class. You're right, Matt. No a problem, mate. I knew what you meant. Gold Coast bids, then Sharp. All right, let's do it. Run draft. All right. Dersma, Gold Coast bids. Gold Coast are going to choose to go into deficit with this instance. They're 229. They've still got a few picks to fall back on, but that falls at 87. And then we're going Sharp. All right, and we're off and running. Chris Digg, Cody Walker, isn't it? I can't comment. I've not seen a second of him play football. I'm just going off what everyone else is saying. I've literally never seen him play. But from, what's his name? Dylan Alexander seems to think he's a lock for top 3. So that's good enough for me. He's watching a lot more than I am. All right, who we got for Richmond in this mock? Let's get some players coming in. Oh, here we go. A couple of people saying Walker's overrated. There's got to be. I don't think. I read somewhere that Dersma wasn't even the number one player last year. So a lot will change in a year. It's got to be CDT. Let's do it. Roby and CDT. That's a big win for Richmond. I get some. Annabelle bid comes in. Oh, okay, you want Annabelle bid in first. All right, hang on. I've got to backtrack it. Annabelle bid They can match it at pick 5. And then you got CDT, and then you got Roby. Let's get some picks coming in. I'm just going to do a quick toilet break, and then I'll be there by the time I get back. All right. Roby, CDT, Annabelle Bid, number 1 player has Sharp last year. Yeah, I thought so as well. And he's kept it going into this year, and people are just concerned about his ceiling. I'm like, what is wrong with his ceiling? Even if he just is a steady, solid contributor, you'd take it. Can Gold Coast trade up to pick 2 or 3 and still match both academy kids? I'd be willing to explore that in a sec, mate, for sure. I think Melbourne will trade up for Roby. Talk was they were first to contact him months ago, and they've talked to him more since. So for Melbourne to do that, they need to get pick 2 off Eagles, I think, because there's been a lot of linking Richmond to Roby. So pick 8, Xavier Taylor. Done. Then bid on Dean at pick 9. I'll wrap this up at the 9 o'clock mark, guys. Thank you for joining us, but let's get through this one. I've got a dog sooking at me over here. I think he wants some food. What would West Coast say yes to for Melbourne? I mean, well, let's explore it. Let's have a look. So, West Coast, pick 2. Melbourne. The obvious answer is the 2 first, isn't it? 7 and 8. West Coast are in front. Picks 505. Maybe throw a 41 back at them. Does the 41 help Melbourne in any way? Let's have a look. So 7 or 8 are gone. That gets replaced with 2. They're going to take 4 players. So they're going to have 2, 37, 41, and 66. So yeah, their 4th player that they take in this draft, it helps. I don't know if Eagles would do 2 and 34. They're still in front on the index, on the points index. But they want Tyler Williams, and that's his range. Who are you thinking? Is 7 and 8 enough? Yeah, 7 and 8 is definitely enough for pick 2. Eagles would do that in a heartbeat, you'd think. That's a runaway win for Eagles. If Melbourne just did that, yeah. And I know as an Eagles list manager, you'd accept that. Smash accept. Boom. Hang on, buddy. Hold up, mate. A few more minutes. As league take piss from West Coast Eagles, say they want to be arseholes and back with Annabelle straight after 2 Gold Coast boys to make them hurt trying to match. Yeah, 100%. 213 for 7, 8, and D's future 1. Let's have a look. Don't mind it. Don't hate it. And then what have Eagles got next year? Eagles have got, I think it's the Saints second. Yeah, they got Saints second, and they got that throwaway Bulldogs pick yesterday. So what do you reckon that future first would be? That future first, let's say Melbourne Where are Melbourne finishing on the ladder next year? I would say bottom 6, potentially bottom 4. Let's say Eagles finish bottom 4. So they got 2 bottom 4 picks, 2 top 4 picks next year. 7, 8, 2 and 13. Yeah, you'd do that. You would definitely do that, I think. If you're the Eagles, you'd tick off a lot of fans in the immediate future. In the immediate, what's the word? Not in the future, but like in the immediate. Yeah. Melbourne would push for Gold Coast first. Yeah, exactly. They'd want that in the back end of the first round. 100%. All right, guys, that's going to just about do it for me tonight. Thank you very much for popping in. That was a lot of fun. That was awesome. I think we got 2 hours streaming out of that. Felt like it just went by pretty quick. So I'm going to keep doing these over the next fortnight. I want to thank you very much for throwing in your suggestions. We'll keep it going. We'll just keep spitballing, see what comes out. Everyone's contributing, so it's a good thing. So I hope you're enjoying this. Let's keep it going. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.